Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Token back with another Showdown live, as it is a new week. I know this was supposed to go up Monday, but it was the last day of spring break for a lot of my close friends. Like literally all my close friends are all attending college, so it was the last day they had before they get really busy with college. So I decided I'd rather just enjoy that last day with hanging out with friends and stuff, and I decided I would just hit YouTube hard and try to grind out a lot of videos for you guys just moving forward for the rest of this week. So thank you for supporting today's Showdown live. If you do end up enjoying today's episode, please do leave a like. Sorry, I'm not good with English. Please do leave a like. It goes very far with helping the channel, and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for a lot more VGC content, as well as a lot of other videos. Got a lot more different content I want to bring to you guys. Anyways, though, today obviously Athens regionals in Georgia just finished up. Very quality regionals. Definitely enjoyed watching the stream as much as I could have, because I did work during a lot of the stream, but it was definitely very fun to watch the streams. I love watching VGC streams and just seeing exactly where the meta was at. And Tapu Fini looks like it's still really strong, very strong in the meta. But a lot of other things definitely surprised me and showed that they are still really strong in the meta. This team does have a little bit of Athens regionals results in it, as like some sets that I ran because of what I saw there. But the main Pokemon that I wanted to build this team around, well, that I started this team as a building block and just built off of it, is Togedemaru. Togedemaru is a Pokemon whose design I grew to love. I definitely wasn't the biggest Togedemaru fan when I first looked at it, but I've slowly grown to see how cute that Pokemon is, and I really do like. I'm not huge on cute Pokemon. A lot of them just seem like they're not really my type of style or what I really like. But Togedemaru is an exception, as well as Stuffle. But Togedemaru, I really do like it at this point, and I do think Togedemaru has a lot of quality options for the meta, and I know a lot of people are opposed to it because there's times for a weakness to ground, and it's with Tapu Fini being popular, it's not able to nuzzle things, and just it definitely has its fault, well, especially not being able to fake out in Tapu Lele's terrain. But it has its faults. But considering those faults, I still do think, if used well, and definitely not used as a offensive Pokemon, it's just used to support a team and used well, it can definitely still be a really quality Pokemon and can get you a lot of wins. I built a team around Togedemaru and tested it on Sunday because I was expecting to have a special guest for y'all, but it turns out that special guest will be coming next week, so it will just be a team built by me this week. Hope you're fine with that. But yeah, I tested the team on Showdown Sunday night, and I did manage to get the team into top 150, but all I have actual evidence of is when I hit top 200 on the Showdown ladder, which is a little unfortunate, but still do have it there. I was on my friend Alex's profile, so that's why it says Igito VGC. But yeah, I was able to get it at least into the top 150, so that's not, in my opinion, that's not bad at all, especially considering I just kind of threw the team together and then just started playing with it. So I thought that was solid enough to make me want to bring this team onto the Battle Spot ladder and see what we can do there. Well, obviously we'll first build a team and then test it in a few games here on Showdown and see how it fares in those games. We won't be as high as Agito's profile, though. That's another reason why I was on my friend's Alex's profile, is because he was already in the 1500s, and I just really hate laddering out of the bottom ladder on Showdown. I just think there's so many annoying gimmicks and stuff that low ladder Showdown is actually a little bit harder than high ladder, at least for me though. But anyways, let's just get into that first Pokemon. First beautiful Pokemon in Togedemaru. Obviously, Lightning Rod is huge. It's going to be how it supports the team. We're going Focus Sash because Togedemaru is very frail and definitely appreciates Focus Sash. Then just a very standard moveset, and Fake Out, Nuzzle. It's still good when you're not facing Tapu Fini's when Misty Terrain is inactive and when Tapu Fini is not even on your opponent's team. Then we'll go Zing Zap. Very quality electric type stab move. Every team needs electric coverage, in my opinion, or at least mine's do. I don't play around teams. I don't play against opposing teams well without electric coverage. And then last but not least, we're going to go Encore, because I'm not a big fan of going Poison Jab, because then you're trying to be too much of an offensive threat with Togedemaru. And with Zing Zap, with Encore, you actually outspeed a decent amount of things in the meta, because Togedemaru does have a 96 speed stat, which isn't bad at all in a very slow meta that we currently have right now. And you're able to Encore a lot of things that definitely don't see it coming and definitely don't want to be Encored. So I like it. Very standard EV spread, and just 252 in attack, 252 in speed, and 4 in special defense, with a jolly nature just to be as fast as possible. So there's Togedemaru. Lightning Rod is going to be how it supports the team, and then Zing Zap when it does go on the offensive, and obviously Fake Out, Nuzzle paralyzes stuff and makes it slower, which is very useful when you need it. Next, I needed a Pokemon that would benefit the most from Togedemaru's Lightning Rod, but also a Pokemon that I felt comfortable using, and I thought that Pokemon was no better Pokemon fit that role than Gyarados, as I'm very comfortable using Gyarados. I love the DD Gyarados set. It's very quality. And on top of that, I also thought that Gyarados provides Intimidate, which is going to be really nice for the rest of the Pokemon on this team. And then I think Togedemaru Gyarados just works so well. The Gyarados we're going to be running is able to take out a lot of things that Togedemaru doesn't like facing, and like Arcanine and Garchomp. And then Togedemaru is able to deal with the things that Gyarados doesn't like facing, and like Tapu Koko and any other electric types. It just stops them from going for their electric type moves, and that's Gyarados' biggest flaw, in that its times for weak to electric. So what we will be running those, we will be running Water MZ. I wanted to run Water MZ just to obliterate things once we're at +1 in attack with Gyarados, and obviously +1 in speed too because of Dragon Dance. But yeah, then we'll just go Waterfall for stab, Ice Fang so that we actually can take on Garchomp really well, Dragon Dance obviously for setup, and then Protect to finish off the EV spread. First and foremost, though, the biggest thing with this Gyarados, I didn't have this at first, and this was a huge reason why I started to tilt, was that after a DD, I actually was not faster than Koko, and I just don't think, if you're running DD Gyarados, run enough speed to outspeed, no, wrong nature, Jolly. If you're running DD Gyarados, run enough speed to outspeed Tapu Koko at +1. It's just bad if you don't, because then your opponent's just able to bring that in, or they already have it in and they just protect it or whatever they did, and it's just not worth it in my opinion. You want to outspeed DD Gyarados. You want to outspeed Tapu Koko. You want to outspeed Sash Koko, which I did run into a few times. Not Sash, Choice Scarf Koko. Which I did run into a few times, but that's not as common, and it's not that effective, because obviously it has to lock itself into discharge, and then we have Pokemon that can just come in on that and really don't mind a discharge. So it's not, so if you run into that, that's fine. You can play around that. Your opponent has to lock themselves in a discharge. So yeah, I just 164 and a Jolly Nature allows us to outspeed regular non-Scarf Tapu Koko after a DD. And moving on, we will go 252 in attack. We want as much damage output as we possibly can have with Gyarados, so 252 EVs in attack allows us to have that. Then we just go 4 and 4 in our defenses, and the rest is dumped in HP. You just want obviously you want Gyarados to be decently bulky. Even with the Intimidate, you still want it to be decently bulky, take attacks decently well. So that's why we just dumped in HP. And then just the 4 in defenses just helps a little bit. There's like one benchmark that I think the defense gives you that's worth noting, but I can't think of it currently, and I don't even have a damage calc even up right now. So let's fix that. Let's get a damage calc out here. And trainer, because we will need that later. So sorry about that. I should have had this already up. My computer is loading very slowly. Please speed up. There we go. Alright, now we'll go back. Alright, but yeah, I do think this combination together of Togedemaru and Gyarados, I think they work very nicely together, as they take care of a lot of what threatens each other. So I definitely like this combo, especially with the popularity of AFK, Arcanine, Tapu Fini, Kartana. I do think that this combination takes on that team archetype decently well. Gyarados takes out Kartana, Fini doesn't like Togedemaru, and Kartana really, Gyarados doesn't really mind Kartana, and Togedemaru doesn't like the Sacred Sword from Kartana, as it's going to take Togedemaru down to its Sash, but then you can nuzzle it after that, and a lot of what Kartana banks on is being really fast, and once it's paralyzed, it's so much easier to deal with, as it does have those paper thin defenses. So or special defense, not its defense is actually decent, but yeah, not bad at all. So we'll move on to the next Pokemon, which I cannot remember. I have a pasteman here right on my phone so that I can actually remember all of this. And yeah, that was the next Pokemon I added to this team in Alolan. I just think Alolan is easily like top 3 Pokemon currently in the format. Maybe a little too high, definitely top 5. It has such a solid typing. It is so bulky because of the Figgy, which pretty much gives it like a second life. Well, not a second life in an extent, but if you get knocked really low into the yellow, because obviously Glenlee's just the excuse me, Gluttony's still the ability to go with, just because of the fact that then you use your Figgy every single game, and you want to, if you're going to be running a HP restoring bear, you want to be able to use it every game. So even though Gluttony's the way to go, if you get knocked really low into the yellow with your muck, prior to breaking your Figgy Bear, it's literally like you almost got a second life with your Alolan Muck, and how much HP that Figgy Berry does restore back for you. So I just think Muck is just so solid. It's so consistent, and it just consistently does well. So I decided that having Alolan Muck on this team was definitely beneficial. It helps us take on the Tapus even a notch better, so that we don't always have to bank on Togedemaru Gyarados, because that obviously can get a little predictable. So Alolan Muck gives us another solid option for the combination for all the Tapus that are in the current format. It's just really solid against all the fairies. It also gives us a better matchup against Porygon 2, considering that right now our team's kind of pretty speedy with a Jolly 164 invested Gyarados and a 252 Jolly invested Togedemaru. Even though we do have Encore, it's really hard to after Porygon 2 sets up Trick Room, it's not going to be going for Trick Room again, so it's hard to Encore Porygon 2 into its Trick Room. So yeah, even though we do have some options for Porygon 2, this gives us a much better way of knocking out Porygon 2's Eviolite, and just then it loses its bulk, which it loses such over-the-top bulk. It's still really bulky even without the Eviolite, but it loses the really over-the-top top-tier bulk and allows you to take it on much better. So I really do like Muck on this team, and we will just be going with a Poison Jab. Just want to make sure I get this right. But yeah, Poison Jab, Stab, Knock Off. And an interesting tech that we're going with on this team is the fact that I don't fully like this team's Trick Room matchup, as you will see with the rest of the team. I'm not the biggest fan of this team's Trick Room matchup, so I went with an interesting tech on this team that was working wonders for me against people in Curse. What Curse does is, when you're not a Ghost type, it allows you to go +1 in attack, defense, and -1 in speed. So that minuses our, so not only does it make our stronger and more able to take physical type moves, but then it also makes us slower, so that we take on so that we're able to deal with Trick Room a little bit better. So I really like that little tech added to give us a better Trick Room matchup, and I do think that was part of what made this team so hard for people to deal with, because they never saw that coming, and they think they could go Trick Room, and then I curse with my Alolan Muck, and they're like, oh crap, now that thing is very powerful. And then we have another tech that I'll get to later that makes this Pokemon even more threatening. But yeah, for the EV spread we go 252 in HP. We want to be extremely bulky. 100 or 108? 108 in defense, 44 in attack, and 100 in special defense, and 4 in speed. And we will be going with a Adamant Nature. 4 in speed, obviously, to outspeed other Alolan Marowaks that aren't running any speed investment at all. 252 in HP, that's a 105 HP stat. You want to just bank on one of its tied for highest stat. You definitely want to invest very heavily in one of your Pokemon's highest stats. 44 in attack, which isn't much, but we're going with an Adamant Nature, so we do still invest heavily in attack to do a lot of damage. Then 108 in defense, quality to make sure that you live Garchomp's EQ 100% of the time. You won't live a Tectonic Rage, but you live its EQ 100% of the time with that defensive investment. And then and Crocodiles, and then 100 in special defense to even take a lot powerful moves like Tapu Koko's Thunderbolt and Electric Terrain to take that even better and stuff like that. So yeah, I really do like this Alolan Muck spread. It's not my Alolan Muck spread. Can't remember exactly who I took it from. It might have been Woofy or someone, but I really do like this spread. And like I said, we're going with Curse over like Taunt or Shadow Sneak, or a new tech a lot of people are running is Prism, which is really cool. That's honestly pretty cool, but I didn't want to run that on this one because of the fact that I don't think we benefit that much from that. I think we benefit much more from Curse to help our Trick Room matchup. So there's Muck. Moving right along though, we do get to Tapu Fini, which like I said is still a very strong Pokemon in this format. So it's a little counterintuitive with Togedemaru. I do get that because of the fact that Togedemaru wants to status things, with Nuzzle, but Tapu Fini disallows the statusing of Pokemon because of its misty terrain. But at the same time, though, I do think that Nuzzle isn't like a crazy move. I don't go for Nuzzle all the time. I honestly go for all of Togedemaru's other moves a lot. I go for Zing Zap a lot to just hit things for some damage, because it honestly does decent damage as long as it's not intimidated. So I go for Zing Zap a lot. So Nuzzle isn't like 100% of moves that I'm banking on to be able to use with Togedemaru. And at the same time, though, I am able to play around that decently well with these two. And then sometimes I just won't bring one or the other. When I bring one of them, I just sometimes might not bring the other. But I just wanted Togedemaru to Togedemaru's mainly there, like I said. We're banking heavily on Lightning Rod, and obviously Lightning Rod's benefiting Gyarados, and now it's going to be benefiting Tapu Fini too. So for Tapu Fini, we are going with the very, very standard set of just leftovers, and then we are going with Moonblast, Muddy Water, Calm Mind. And then this is where I decided to run a different tech, and this is where Athens Regional starts to really show up in my team. And I decided that I really liked watching Woofy try out Swagger Fini. I thought that Swagger Fini actually, like, if used correctly, it puts your opponent in such a tight position, an extremely, extremely tight position. And if they have two threats that are slower than a Pokemon on your side of the field that you just swaggered, obviously Swagger can miss, but I do think Fini has the bulk to make Swagger still I'm just punching my keyboard, but I do think Fini has the bulk to make Swagger still worth going for every once in a while, because even if you do miss it, I don't feel like you missed out. I don't like Fini has the bulk to take an attack, and then you're still not in the worst position just because you missed Swagger, in my opinion. And it's not, obviously, once again, it's not something I'm every time banking on. And then because I have Togedemaru, I felt like Protect wasn't as needed on this set, because I can switch in Togedemaru and it can absorb the electric type attack that is targeted at Tapu Fini, so I didn't need Protect as much. So we do go for Swagger, and we are running no Protect. But yeah, then we'll just go to 28, or no, is that wrong? No, what the heck are we? Oh, 252 on HP. So 108, wrong one. 108 in defense, 116 in special attack, 28 in special defense, and then 4 in speed, obviously, to just once again outspeed other Tapu Finis that are not running 4 in speed. Probably all of them are at this point, but still, it's just not bad. And yeah, 252 on HP. We want to bank. We're banking heavily on Fini's bulk. Fini's as you can see, with the 115 in defense and 130 in special defense, Fini's a very bulky Pokemon, so we want to just have something that helps boost both of those defensive stats, defense and special defense, and that's what 252 in HP allows us to do. 108 in defense, you want to take the poison jabs and all that really, really well, and just like tectonic rages and stuff like that really, really well. The defensive EVs allow you to easily live a tectonic rage unless it crits you, and other very powerful physical type moves of that sort allows you to just take them really well. 116 in special attack, though, because we do, especially after a Calm Mind, we want to be, not only do we want to be, especially if we get a free Calm Mind off, we want to be very bulky, but we also want to be a solid offensive threat. And 116 in special attack plus the modest nature allows us to hit decently hard even without the Calm Mind, first getting the Calm Mind boost up, but then it allows us to hit really hard once we do that. And then obviously 28 in special defense, but once we get a Calm Mind up, then that gets plus to 1, and then it's actually really, really solid on top of an already really solid special defense stat. And then, like I said, just 4 in speed, tout speed, non in speed invested Tapu Finis. So not bad at all. Like I said, Swagger, mainly it's to, I don't really go for it on Togedemaru. It's mainly just I go for it on Muck, and I think not the next Pokemon, but the final Pokemon, I go for it on that one too on this team, as obviously Misty Terrain allows grounded Pokemon to not take any status, so then I'm able to Swagger Muck. It doesn't get confused because of that, so I'm just giving my Muck a +2. And once if I've set up a curse and stuff like that, Muck's already a little bit harder to take out, especially because the main way you take out a Muck is through ground type attacks, ground stab attacks. But then curse gives us a little bit more defense on Muck to be even, to be even stronger. I know Muck's not the fastest threat, so that's why we do have another Pokemon that we can Swagger into, so we have a faster threat too. But especially when I'm facing Trick Room teams, if I get some curses up and then I Swagger into my Muck, I can easily just GG an opponent from them just not being able to hit Muck hard enough before Muck just wrecks their team. And yeah, I really like this Finny set for this Pacific team. It works out, and I don't 100% need Protect. So now I was thinking, I was having a lot of trouble with deciding this slot, but I did end up going with Talonflame. And the reason I was having a lot of trouble finding a slot, because one, I decided that I didn't have the best answer to Kartana at this point. Two, I had no real speed control at this point. I do have Curse on Muck, but that's just to improve my Trick Room matchup, which still isn't the best, and I'm still missing some type of reliable speed control at this point. I don't think speed control in this format is as big as a deal as it was in previous formats, especially like a format like VGC 15, where every team was either running either Trick Room, Tailwind, or Icy Wind, just some form of speed control. I don't feel like it's that big of a deal, but I did want some form of speed control on this team. So speed control, I didn't think my Kartana matchup was the best. It wasn't the worst, but it definitely wasn't the best. I didn't have anything that just immediately threatened an Oko on a Sylvest Kartana, which is one of the best Pokemon in this format, and I definitely wanted to have something that can do that. And then I also wanted a Pokemon that can also, like, Intimidate's good, but I wanted to weaken some physical type Pokemon even further if possible. So that's also what Talonflame offered me. And then oh, and then I wanted another Pokemon that I could maybe EQ next to, because the last Pokemon we do have on this team is a Pokemon that enjoys being able to EQ Pokemon. Oh, and then last but not least, most importantly, I didn't have a solid answer to stopping Trick Room from going up. Nothing on my team currently is running Taunt. Like I said, Encore Togedemaru is good, but it's really hard to Encore a Porygon 2 into Trick Room with Togedemaru, considering how fast it is. Porygon 2 is going to go after it, get the Trick Room up, and then it's not going to go for another Trick Room, so you're going to be slower than in Trick Room. You're not going to be able to Encore Porygon 2. So I wanted a Pokemon that could stop the Trick Room from going up from P2, can immediately threaten Kartana, could provide speed control, and could also support the team with weakening physical type attackers, and that's what Talonflame entirely provided me. Talonflame's just like Jake the Battler, because this is going to be Jake the Battler's Talonflame set. Jake the Battler himself, he said that Talonflame is an underrated fire type Pokemon, and I definitely didn't think Arcanine had the best fit onto this team, and I do think Talonflame is an extremely underrated fire type Pokemon, so we will be going with Jake the Battler's Talonflame set and him running Overheat. Oh, Fire MZ to Talonflame's not the. It's going to be a special Talonflame because you don't want to get weakened by Intimidate, obviously, because there's a lot of Intimidate in the format, and then you also don't want to run Flare Blitz as your stab fire type move. You don't want to run Flare Blitz because that chunks Talonflame's health, and Talonflame on this team is going to be more a support Pokemon than an offensive Pokemon, other than when it comes to killing Kartanas. That's when Talonflame really goes on the offensive and tries to really show its capabilities. So we are going to be going with the Fire MZ, Overheat, Will-O-Wisp, Taunt, and Tailwind. Like I said, Taunt for the Porygon 2 to stop it from going for Trick Room, as it needs that Eviolite, so you're almost always able to Taunt, and it almost is never running Protect, so almost always able to Taunt Porygon 2. Tailwind to set up the to obviously speed control, like I said. Will-O-Wisp to weaken those physical type attackers that do threaten this team, and things like Alolan Muck really dislike being Will-O-Wisp, so we can Will-O-Wisp a threat like that and really nuke it, its offensive capabilities. Obviously, we do have Tapu Fini, so once again, that's working a little opposite of working with Tapu Fini, but I usually, if I do bring Talonflame, it's usually almost always lead, so, and it's led with something that's not Tapu Fini, so that I'm not nuking or not hurting my own Will-O-Wisp chances. But Will-O-Wisp was just another move to help support. It's really not. I usually go for the other three moves a lot more than I go for Will-O-Wisp, or I go for my Fire MZ boosted Overheat. I usually don't go for Will-O-Wisp that often, but it was another support option, so it's not the end of the world that it is weakening my that Tapu Fini's Misty Terrain is kind of working against Will-O-Wisp. But like I said, Talonflame provides a lot of things, and then it usually is able to get up to Tailwind because of Gale Wings, Tailwind giving it that increased priority. So I really like Talonflame. Obviously, this is a support Talonflame, so we will be investing in bulk. I know a lot of people think, oh, Talonflame cannot be bulky, blah, 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 blah. Talonflame can be pretty bulky, especially with the set that Jake the Battler came up with. Shouts out to him for coming up with such a solid set. This is such a solid Talonflame set. I got some EVs wrong somewhere, and that's where they were. And then we're just going to go with the timid nature because we want to be as fast as possible to definitely threaten things out like Kartana, considering how solid Kartana is in the format. So now you're seeing that my team even has another answer to make our Kartana matchup even better. So I really do like us against AFK at this point because we have Talonflame for Kartana, we have Gyarados for Arcanine, and then we have Kartana, AFK, Arcanine, Finny. Oh, and then we have Togedemaru for Finny and Muck for Finny. So I think we have, this team is like really anti-AFK, and I really like that considering how popular AFK was at Athens Regional and just how popular it is in general. So I really do like that. And yeah, just another Pokemon. Another Pokemon that's benefiting from Togedemaru's Lightning Rod. So you can see now that we were heavily banking on Togedemaru's Lightning Rod. Maybe a little too much, but I like the team. I really do like. I really do think Togedemaru does a solid job of benefiting the team. So hopefully we can showcase that in the few battles that we do get up. And then last but not least is going to be Garchomp. I was very indecisive with this final set, but Garchomp's just so consistent in the format. It's just so hard to advocate not adding a Garchomp to your team. I was thinking of maybe still another thing that benefits from Togedemaru, but I didn't like that fit at all on the team. I thought we can use a little bit more offensive power, so that's why Garchomp came to mind. I thought we can use ground stab because ground stab is so solid in the format right now. And then I thought we can also I also wanted a dragon type too, even though there's a lot of fairies running around. Dragon's still a quality typing in that few things resist dragon other than like still types, so that was another thing that made me want to go for it. And then I thought we can use even a little bit more speed because even though I have a few options to stop Trick Room from going up, I do think that we don't have the worst Trick Room matchup in Muck and Tapu Fini. Tapu Fini really, it's like a middle speed thing it got going on, so outside or inside of Trick Room it really doesn't mind in my opinion. So not the worst Trick Room matchup, so I thought we can use a little bit more speed too. So yeah, we're just going to be going as the final member in Garchomp, and this is going to be that ground DMZ Garchomp. I just love it. I think I love it a little too much, but it's just so solid. Just being able to like Oko and Alolan Muck is just too nice. Being able to just dish out so much damage on so many different Pokemon, it's just really solid. So yeah, I decided to go for that. We're going to be going for Earthquake, of course. I don't even know why I can learn Earth Power. No one's using that. But yeah, Earthquake, Rock Slide, Poison Jab, and Protect. We're not going for the Dragon type stab move, even though I did just say that I wanted a Dragon type because few things resist Dragon. But I came to realize that we really didn't need it with Finny and with Ice Fang on Gyarados. We really didn't need Dragon type stab. I just like fast Rock Slide, Earthquake, of course, to double hit things, as we got two flying types that don't mind EQ, so I'm able to go for EQ and not hit my own Pokemon a lot. And then Poison Jab just to hit those fairies really well. A lot of Tapu Koko and Finny both struggle to Oko Garchomp, so you're able to then you're able to get a strong Poison Jab off on both of those before they can, since they aren't able to really Oko you. And then we're just going to be going with a very standard Garchomp set, and it's 250 or EV spread, and it's 252 attack, 252 in speed, and then 4 in special defense. So just standard. You want to dish out as much attack as possible with 252, but you also want to still be pretty fast with a jolly nature. So not bad at all. I know we're running a few Z crystals in these three, but I do feel like they all have their niches to where it's like, oh, this Pokemon's really threatening my team. Go for a Water MZ, especially off of after a boosted Dragon Dance, gone. This Kartana is really threatening my team, and I don't want to -2 myself right now. Go for a Fire MZ, gone. This Muck is really threatening my team, and I really want it gone. Go for a Ground DMZ, gone. So I do think they're all really situational, and I do think the Z crystals are easily one of the best items in the format, if not the best item in the format. Other than maybe like Figgy right now is just looking so good. But yeah, they're one of the best items in the format. So I didn't really see a reason why having all these Z crystals would be an issue at all. Garchomp still does its job when it doesn't go for its Z crystal. Talonflame is able to still do its job when it doesn't go for its Z crystal, and Gyarados is able to still solidly do its job when it does not go for its Z crystal move. I still pick up a lot of Okos and just get off powerful powerful damage, especially once a Dragon Dance is up with Gyarados. So yeah, that's pretty much the team. Togedemaru to support all the 3 electric type weak Pokemon. Gyarados to benefit the most from Togedemaru. Alolan Mug just because it's solid in the format. Tapu Fini because it's solid in the format, and because I wanted to try out Misty Terrain Swagger, and it turned out to be really solid. Talonflame to improve the Kartana matchup and to provide speed control and an answer to P2's Trick Room, and then Garchomp because it's just solid, because I have 2 immunities to ground type moves, so why not have one of the most powerful double targeting moves, Rock Slide, because sometimes you're in a tight spot and you need a Rock Slide flinch, it's just as good, and because Rock Slide is just solid damage either way, and then Poison Jab because it's just solid on Garchomp. So that's pretty much the team. Now we'll get like 2, maybe 4 battles, maybe just 2. We'll see how many battles we get with the team. We'll get some battles on the ladder, and we'll see how this team fares real quickly. Shouldn't be too bad, especially because I'm not that high on the ladder at all. So we'll see. So we have a double duck team that also has Tapu Lele, Salamence, Garchomp, and Xurkitree. That's very interesting that they have Salamence and Garchomp on the same team. I don't think I've ever seen that yet. But Togedemaru really doesn't mind double duck, and Togedemaru Fini really doesn't mind double duck, so I like that a lot. And then we can go with Lele's scary because Psychium Z Lele will take out Gyarados, and Gyarados just really doesn't like Lele in general. What's making me not want to bring Muck is the Salamence combined with the Garchomp. That's Intimidate on top of a Ground EMZ, maybe going into our Muck. So that's making me a little shaky on bringing Muck, but I do think Muck is just a must bring to deal with Tapu Lele if it's brought, and to just have something that's not weak to Xurkitree. Xurkitree gets Dazzling Gleam plus its electric type stab, and everything else is weak to that. And last but not least, it's a tricky situation. It's a very tricky situation, but I think I'm going to go Gyarados just because Intimidate looks like it's not bad, and I just I didn't see what a few other things provided me. So my opponent is going to go double duck. Usually when you have double duck, you do just lead with it. I have the same strategy against this team every time. Every time I just go for a fake out on Golduck. If it switches out, that's fine. Just go for the fake out on Golduck, and then I go for a Calm Mind with Fini. After the Calm Mind, Pelipper and Golduck struggle mightily to take out Fini, and yeah, I really like that. So yep, my opponent sets up their Tailwind. Usually expect it with this team. It's perfectly fine. We pretty much have a Togedemaru that has 2 lives in its Focus Sash. A lot of people think I'm not running Focus Sash for everything, but for some reason it rarely gets double targeted in this scenario after my opponent sets up Tailwind. So either way, we're just going to Zing Zap the Pelipper, and then I'm going to Moonblast the Golduck. They'll 100% take out the Golduck, so we'll see if my opponent... well, see, they used their Hydro Vortex on Fini, which was a bad decision, because now I'm going to be able to take out... Well, it's Sash, so that's fine. We'll still be able to take it out next turn. Yeah, and then Moonblast, Golduck. Oh, that's a bulky Golduck. Why did that not take out? That's taken out every other time other than this time. So that's a little unfortunate. Yeah, it is a little unfortunate. Yeah, I think I'll just bring in Muck, because right now we're in Misty Terrain, so I can't take damage from the... I can't get burned from that. So, and then I'll just Muddy Water and take out Golduck. That's really unfortunate though that we weren't able to hit that we weren't able to get that Oko on Golduck. That was pretty unfortunate there. I'm just going to switch in Gyarados and then go for a Muddy Water. I would really want to go for a Moonblast on Garchomp, but I really want Golduck gone, so going to go for a Muddy Water. Still can't be burned by the Golduck. We take a Poison Jab nicely at this point, and we do just go for that Muddy Water. That'll take out Golduck, and it lowers the accuracy of Garchomp and does solid damage, so that's not bad at all. And Garchomp's at -1, so that was another reason why we took that so well. Alright, this might be a discharge. Alright, I'm a little afraid to bring in Togedemaru, and the fact that my opponent can just maybe not go, can just protect the third. Xurkitree usually is it is usually Choice Scarf though, so it usually does get locked into moves. So I'm just a little scared to bring it in right now. I don't have Protect on Finny, so I do think I need to act quicker rather than later with dealing with a Xurkitree. I'm trying to debate if Muddy Water or Moonblast is a better move. I'm not sure Moonblast will take out Xurkitree right now. If it does, I would 100% go for that, but I don't know that calc. We are in rain though, so I am just going to go for a Muddy Water and hope that's enough damage. We'll see how much that does. Xurkitree does Protect though, so that's bad for me. My opponent does just EQ, so yeah, that's pretty bad for me. That was something that I did maybe foresee. I saw as maybe a possibility that my opponent would go for. So that's really unfortunate. What I'll do here though is I'll go into Gyarados just to weaken the Garchomp's attacks a little bit further, and then I'm trying to debate now that I know that this is not a blah 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 blah, what the heck's its name? Oh, it's not a Scarf Xurkitree, so I do think my Gyarados is faster, so I am just going to Hydro Vortex that slot and then go for a, I'm not sure if I want to go for a Muddy Water, because if I miss, it's actually going to be pretty tragic if I do somehow miss that attack. I guess if my opponent targets Gyarados, I do still want to get off damage with a, if it targets it with like a Thunderbolt or something, I want to still, oh, and it's faster than both of these two. Okay. Alright, we're actually in a very poor position. I didn't think it would still be faster than my Gyarados, even though, yeah, I didn't think it would be faster than my Gyarados even after a, since once it revealed that it wasn't, my opponent likely protects here. No, but I don't benefit anything from going for that. We're in a tight spot. I think he's going to EQ and protect his Xurkitree, so I do think my best bet. Oh, and he does not do that. So that's unfortunate. I would have just protected there. Yeah, it's going to do too much damage. So yeah, this will be game in my opponent's favor. We'll take the rough skin damage and lose our Muck. So yeah, not the best game. Xurkitree definitely threw me off guard with it not being Scarf, but still outspeeding our Gyarados when we were 164 and Jolly Nature. So that was like a heavily invested Xurkitree. I thought we could definitely be faster than that though. I guess not though. I thought Xurkitree was a little bit slower, but guess not. We'll get one more game and then we'll probably call it. Doesn't look like it's that high ladder of a team, but Scissor, Drampa, Rabombi, Salazzle, Tapu Fini, and Alolan Muk. So a very all over the place type team. I really don't know how everything on this team. I guess maybe Swords Dance plus the Rabombi, but Rabombi's more of a special attacker, so not really sure how Rabombi's benefiting with this team right here. Usually you have something that uses a dance type move to benefit. Oh no, that's the Oricorio. That's Oricorio. I'm thinking of Oricorio, but I still don't know what Rabombi's really supposed to do in this one. I think I'll still just go with Togedemaru Gyarados. I don't really see how that can go wrong for us. How can that go wrong? Togedemaru Gyarados. I can fake out the Salazzle, then take it out the following turn. Yeah, he has no Intimidate. I don't see how that can go wrong for us. I'll go with that. I'll go with Alolan Muk. And do I just want to go Finny? I don't want to go Garchomp. I like Finny more. I like Finny just a tad more. Opponent does lead with that Salazzle, and then they lead with Garchomp. I mean with Drampa, not Garchomp. Yeah, I'm just going to fake out Drampa. It's actually kind of scary right now. And then I'll Dragon Dance. So fake out Dragon Dance. We do take a Flamethrower. That does bring us down to our Sash. We do get the Dragon Dance off though. Opponent will likely go for another of those Flamethrowers onto our... I just went for a Hydro Vortex. Maybe that wasn't the move to go for though. Salazzle protects. We'll see how much this Hydro Vortex does. Yeah, I meant to go for an Ice Fang. That was a mistake. Hyper Voice. And my opponent gets a crit. That's unfortunate. What we can do here though is just Moonblast and Waterfall Salazzle. That should definitely take out Salazzle, so we'll do that. Oh no, it's Sash. Alright, well. Ooh, we lived that, but we get poisoned, but we will get a Moonblast off on Drampa, so not really playing that well. I did mean to Ice Fang, but when I put on Showdown, I kind of just click stuff a little too quickly for myself, so that's not the best, but we'll just have to play around it. Do think Muck's the call here. So my opponent can just protect their Salazzle, so we'll go Muck. It's unfortunate we got poisoned, and my opponent goes their own Muck, which is really annoying. It's actually really, really annoying. We'll switch into Togedemaru, and yeah, we'll switch into Togedemaru and knock out Salazzle. Salazzle's actually looking pretty threatening right now, so I want to knock that out. Opponent will likely knock off my Muck. Yeah, but then we'll knock off his this following turn, so that's fine. Finny comes in. Finny will likely protect, but do I call that protect? Do I call that? Do I just Encore Muck into knockoff maybe? I think I just fake out. I'm going to fake out knockoff Muck. Yeah, my opponent does. He makes a smart decision. Ooh, and it misses Togedemaru. That's actually huge. That is huge. That is absolutely huge. Because now we're going to be able to Zing Zap that Finny slot. And we don't have the best answer for freaking... Don't have the best answer for taking out Muck though. Oh, and then... Oh, misses Muck now. And that's going to take out Finny, so now it's just going to come down. Can we take out this Muck? We should be able to take it out there. Not the best playing on my part, but I do think we'll still be able to win this one, it looks like. We'll just go for a Moonblast for actual... Actually, do I want to Swagger Muck? No, because we're at a low amount of health. Doesn't seem like the best idea. Is knockoff going to do more damage than Poison Jab? They're both resisted. I think Poison Jab actually will do more damage. Not sure though. We'll go for the Moonblast. Go for Poison Jab. Gunk Shot's used. Alright, well that was a bad choice on my opponent's part. As long as they were running decent investment, they should have definitely been able to take out my Finny with a Poison Jab. So bad choice on their part, and that will cost them the game. I still think they would have lost either way though, but that was just not the best choice in my opinion. Oh, he said GG and then just left. So wasn't able to say anything. We'll see what my rank is. I'm actually a little curious. Rank. Yeah, 1276. So definitely not that high at all. But yeah, that was just a quick little showcase of the team. Nothing too fancy at all, but showing what the team can do. A little unfortunate that I ran into that. That I ran into the guy that was running non-Scarf Circuitry, but somehow still outsped our Gyarados. That actually really threw me off guard. But yeah, just a quick little showcase. I don't want to do too many battles and keep you guys here. We'll obviously have lots of battles with this team going up on the channel once we do get into our... Once we get into our VGC Battle Spot Climbing the Ladder series, we'll have a lot of battles going up with this team, so that's where you guys will get the real showcase of the team. Thank you all for tuning in today. I hope you guys hope you guys enjoyed watching me build this team and testing it. The team's definitely decently proven, as I was able to ladder it decently high really quickly, so I do think the team has a lot going for it, and it's really strong against AFK, which is really popular in the meta right now. So definitely come out for those VGC Battle Spot Climbing the Ladder episodes. We'll have those going up this entire week, and yeah, I'll definitely try to get definitely one up every single day this week, as I haven't really been able to do that any other week other than Monday. We just already missed Monday, but try to get one up going up every single day of this week for you all and be really consistent with that. I'm gonna get the heck out of here, and for now though, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next episode. I'll see you in the first episode of the VGC Climbing the Ladder with this team. For now though, have a good rest of your day. Peace out.